Welcome to Zen in a Moment, episode 62 with Zen Cryer DeBrook. I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks with the Zen in a Moment on abundance and generating what you need from the world. There are a lot of simple, easy ways that you can shift your mindset to create a lot more abundance in your life in all areas, okay? And it really is a mental game. Everything from finances to creative ideas, energy, time, intimacy, appreciation. Like abundance is not just money in your bank account, okay? Abundance is not just what you can have, like how many cars, how many houses. I like the word wealth. I have a program called Wealth Through Flow, which is really literally just being able to flow into abundant states of mind and being, and then things come to you. And wealth is everything from the respect that you receive, what you give in the world, what you're able to generate for others, as well as what you're able to generate for yourself. It's the quality of your relationships with your family, with your coworkers, the intimacy that you have, the depth with which you can go into these relationships. And it's also, right? Wealth is also how you feel about yourself, your body. Your health is one of the biggest things that you need to be wealthy about. And so I'm going to spend some time giving short, simple little things here that I have found that really, really work. I, for years, didn't do any kind of wealth programs because I believe that it's a huge mindset shift, and you can't just go in and learn how to buy houses and flip them or do the stock market trade or whatever. Something will give if you don't know how to build your wealth in a way that's balanced and moving forward equally. And it really takes working on all those tiny little thoughts that we have in our head that make up our mindset about abundance and wealth. And I didn't find that there was going to be a really easy way for me to do it. So I created this wealth program, which gives you text messaging throughout the day that brings you back to these key core concepts. And one of the key core concepts is surplus. Most of the time, our attention is drawn to what we do not have, what we want to have, but we have not attained yet. Okay. Like a grasping energy. I'm going to be talking about that this week as well. And the reality is that this entire planet operates on surplus. Okay, the main archetypical energy of planet Earth is surplus. We have a surplus of water. And I understand that it's not all divided equally and that we've got some issues going on, but in general, all the animals are being fed. You're going to hear me come back to this over and over again. We have a surplus of plant life. We have a surplus of ocean life. We have a surplus of water. We have a surplus of people and energy. And in your life, you have surplus. And when you put your awareness on what you're lacking, what you do not have, what you'll find is that you're going to get more of what you do not have. And what'll happen is you'll start generating lack in your life. And lack can look like any of the things that I mentioned. It could be time, it could be energy, it could be your health, it could be intimacy, it could be respect, okay, as well as finances. But the reality is you have surplus. I have a surplus of incredible friends. I have a surplus of creative ideas. I have a surplus of kitchen utensils that I don't use in my kitchen. I have a surplus of jackets, okay? I have a surplus of facial treatments and cosmetics, okay? If you look around in your life, there are lots and lots of things that you have a surplus of. If you don't have a surplus of time, there's something else that you do have a surplus of. If you have a lack of sleep, right? There's that lack conversation. There's a balance. And when you start paying attention to what you have surplus of and start noticing it, you're going to find that just that energy of noticing what you have more than you need of begins to actually take root and shift the consciousness around what you don't have enough of. This is a huge form of being grateful, really, having gratitude for what you have. And so what I ended up doing a lot of times is when I would begin thinking that there's something that I needed that I didn't have enough of, or that I didn't even know how I was going to get any of, right? Sometimes you're like, I don't even have any of what I want. I would go ahead and walk around like my home, or I would go through my contacts, or I would look back through my calendar at all the wonderful things that I've done. Another thing that works really great is for you to go through old pictures on your phone. Instead of dwelling in the energy that you are not going to get enough, or you don't have enough, or you don't know how you're going to get there, or where is it going to come from, or how am I ever going to get to that big dream that I have, or when am I going to own my own house, or how am I going to be able to retire? How am I going to take care of the people in my life? Whatever it is that's showing up, try to do a pattern interrupt. Scientists and doctors are finding that pattern interrupts really work, stopping the direction that the brain is flowing that's habitual and shifting it into another direction. Now, I know lots of people have a really hard time using their imagination and visualizing things. I'm one of those people. I don't see pictures, so I get feelings about things. And when I go through and I look at the surplus that I have, all right, through my pictures, through my calendar, through just my home, through my friends, through those moments when I have a surplus of time. I'm very lucky that I get to manage my own time, and I usually book it pretty full. But the truth of the matter is that I can stop my life on a dime and make time. That's one of the gifts that I have. I have a surplus of power in giving myself more time when I need it. I have a surplus of extraordinary people in my life that I love with all of my heart, and I'm so grateful for them. All right? And you do too. So what I'd love for you to do is go ahead and play with surplus. Look all throughout your life at all the things that you have. Your house is a good one. I mean, most of us, at least here in the Western hemisphere, right? Most of us have an extraordinary amount of stuff. I remember this one time I was in the middle of the rainforest in Ecuador. I was with a group of people, and one of the men there, his business was storage units. And the Achuar, medicine man, was talking to each of us about what we did for a living. I was telling him about the IGS. And then the next person went and he started saying that he had these buildings where people put stuff that didn't fit in their home in the buildings, and they paid him to just hold on to the stuff. Now, I want you to think about that for just a moment. We have an Achuar leader who lives in what they call a tambo, which is a house that's like a hut. The whole family lives there. They sleep in hammocks. They get their food daily from the jungle around them. They don't have a ton of extra stuff at all, okay? They just have what they need. They're sufficient. They're satisfied with what they have. And they can't even picture us having these massive homes with stuff in it and then having so much extra stuff that we need another building to put our stuff in. The concept was so foreign that I don't really even think he grokked it at all. Well, I would bet that you, throughout your existence here, if you walk through your garage, your home, even through your closet, your kitchen, okay, your pantry, you're going to find stuff. You're going to find a lot of stuff, and that's your surplus. All right, so start noticing your surplus. Anytime you're feeling lack, do a pattern interrupt. Look around at the extraordinary amount of surplus that you have in your life. All right, I am sending you love and blessings. If you love these, remember you can help me out by going to SoundCloud, typing in Zen in a Moment. Follow me there because it really helps the algorithm to get this content out if you love it. Go ahead and give me some thumbs up. You can get all of the Zen in a Moments on SoundCloud, plus some ones that I did back in 2015, 16, and 17. And it really helps. Let's share this work. Let's get this consciousness out there right now. We really need the surplus consciousness to be in the world. I love you guys as usual, and I'm sending love and blessings. Have a great day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my Zen in the Moments mini pods. I'm on a mission to eliminate mental fear in the human species. I truly know that the closing of our internal guidance systems is letting each and every human being on the planet know that what they're thinking is out of alignment with what is going to create love, harmony, compassion, discernment, and peace. And that if we all learn to follow our internal guidance system, discover our openings, we will be in flow and in harmony together, and we can create the world that we love. Now, this is not something we can do by ourselves. That is why I have created the Fear-Free Human Collective. The collective is a community of people who've come together to get training on how to use their internal guidance system. It is an amazing experience to be with a group of people who are looking at their closings, taking responsibility for them, and then working together to find openings. Because when those openings happen, magic and synchronicity are the norm. If you are interested in having a group of people who are going through this experience together and are changing their worlds to where, miracles become the norm and we can celebrate them together as we have an extraordinary life by influencing people with our opening and our love and our compassion, that I want to invite you to go to BeFearFreeNow.com. BeFearFreeNow.com and become a member. We have a free level, a level that is $27, $47, and $97, depending on how deep you want to go with the training and how much coaching access you'd like to have, and to be in a group with me, to be able to be in a discussion with me on how are we going to make this happen on this beautiful, exquisite planet we live on. So please come check it out. I'd love to have you join the fun. Join us all at BeFearFreeNow.com. Thanks so much. I'm sending you love and blessings. Bye for now.